Chris, what's your last name?
Evans.
Chris Evans. And what's
Yes,
the name of
sir.
the company again?
All American Janitorial, man.
I like that. So mainly focusing on, we talked about it before we got on here, but mainly
Yeah, for sure.
focusing on commercial, but also will do residential, it sounds like, or no?
Yeah, we'll touch bases with it, but I started off in residential and kind of went away from that after a while.
Gotcha.
Started going more commercial.
What made you decide to make the flip?
Honestly, it's you can get those better contracts
Okay.
in the commercial side, so you
A little
really
more
don't
money?
have that. A lot more money.
Yeah. Hey, profit's not a
lot
dirty
more money.
word.
Yeah. No. It's definitely a lot more money. A lot more money in commercial and just more stability. When the pandemic hit, a lot of people weren't getting their homes cleaned.
Mm-hmm.
And so that kind of took a turn for the market, especially in residential. So a lot of those residential cleaners switched over to commercial. And, some haven't turned back and some have. So
Gotcha. So let's start from the beginning. How'd this all start, man? What made you decide to open up a commercial cleaning company?
Man, brother. Long story short, bro, I'm very honest. So I got in a little bit of trouble when I was younger,
Mm-hmm. That
and
happens.
those background checks are no joke. And
Okay.
I don't have nothing crazy, but it was just like, man, I can't get a job for nothing, man.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually started with a detailing company first.
Like auto detailing?
Auto detailing, mobile detailing.
Got it.
And this was my ex-dad. He kind of gave me the whole ordeal, the spiel, like, yo, come on, let's do this. You're good for it, But I didn't have a van, and I didn't
Okay.
have all the equipment. So I was basically fighting against the weather and, other circumstances. I didn't know anything about marketing. And then my
Mm-hmm.
best friend started a landscaping company. Shout out to Travio. He started a landscaping company. He was also doing cleaning. He was like, hey, bro, you're really good at this cleaning ordeal. Like, maybe you should look into it. So I looked into it, and I got my start. I was on an ad. Shout out my football coach, Jeremy Tracy. Um, he showed me something with Mageway, and that's kind of like how I started subcontracting for cleaning, and I haven't looked back since.
Nice. So what you made mention that one of your guys that had brought it up to you had said you were really good at the cleaning thing. What do you mean specifically in regards to that? Is it the marketing? Is it the cleaning itself?
The
Or
actual physical cleaning part, I think I just took attention to detail.
okay.
He had a building that he was cleaning, and I had went to help him. I was, out at that time. I didn't have much fun, so he was helping, and he was like, "Hey, just go clean the bathroom. I'm gonna tell you what to do. This is what you do." And I did it. He was like, "Bro, this look real good." He was like, "You might be able to do this." And I was like, "I don't think I want to clean toilets for a living."
No.
Yeah, no.
I know for me, I would probably be a really bad cleaner when it comes to cleaning. I do not have much of attention to detail, so I can see, for me, I feel like there's people out there that are probably like, oh, who's not that, who couldn't clean? I'm like, me. I could not. You would not want to hire me for sure. I would probably not do a good job. So I understand how important the attention to detail can be for sure.
Oh yeah, especially in the residential realm. Like you
Mhm.
kind of get a little bit more leeway on the commercial side.
Okay.
On the commercial side, it's more like, hey, we need this done. Can you
Right.
get it done? Can you do
Mhm.
the job? And for me, I like that. It makes my job a lot easier. Expectations aren't crazy high. Like when you go in someone's home, it's completely different. It's their home. It's their personal space. This is where they live.
Gotcha.
And so, you don't want to, you don't want to mess up or, mistakenly think like, let's say I move something and they can't find it. Oh, did you steal this? No, I just moved it over here.
My cleaning lady moves everything, man. I can never find anything after.
Really?
I swear to God. They do good work, but yeah, the ones at home, man, every time. But yeah, talking about how the attention to detail, everything along those lines. We want to focus mainly on commercial business, but like, what are you doing right now that seems to be working? Because one of the things about this podcast is, I call it the real estate blueprint, right? We talk
Word.
mainly about real estate,
Right.
but what I identified as I was doing interviews with people is that the majority, almost all of the people I talk to are self-employed, right?
For sure.
So it's all about not only real estate, but about what are people doing that's working, that's generating new business.
Word.
So you made mention of how, you got started, you didn't have the van, you were doing the things like, what have you done to get clients? What's worked? What will you never do again? All of the above.
Man, I've done it all. News flyers, cold calling,
Okay.
door to door.
Mm-hmm.
Like I actually live in Killeen. A lot of people don't know that. So they say,
Okay.
hey, when they want to do the one-on-one, hey, come. Yeah, where are you staying? What side of town? I'm
That's
like, I commute.
I remember you mentioning it, but I totally forgot, man. You had to make a haul down here.
Man, yeah. I had a meeting this morning, so
Okay.
hey, made it a lot easier. You're 14 minutes away. I
Nice.
just set it up in that kind of order.
Okay.
But yeah, man, I've done it all. I mean, cold calling has been kind of successful. The internet, just searching for different kind of contracts and different kind of bids and things like that that could be helpful towards the business and
And you're
subcontract.
doing all of the sales side of things and the cleaning, or just
I got some employees. I got a couple
Okay.
employees right now, so shout out to them because they're doing a terrific job. So,
nice?
I got the luxury. I only gotten to clean 2 times out the week now, so I don't have to kill my body
Okay.
as much as I was the first 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How'd you find the employees? Hiring is hard, man.
man. I went through a series of them. I
Okay.
done did go through the staffing companies. They just were completely.
Wasn't
You
good.
get some good ones every now and then,
Okay.
but who wants to keep cleaning toilets? So you got to kind of keep their interest of why I want to keep you around. And I think that's the hardest thing. I think the value that I bring in is none of my employees actually work 40 hours a week.
Okay.
Like they make decent money and don't have to work those 8, 9, 10-hour days anymore. So
I got you.
you kind of get that time. You get a little bit of your time back.
Okay, that's interesting. And then you said you went through employee staffing companies, didn't work. What was it for the employees? Same thing, just word of mouth?
Yeah, word of mouth. Like right now, one of my good friends, he said his brother needed a job, and I was like, you know what? Let me train you up. After I train you up, let me try you out. And come to find out, actually, he used to work for a cleaning company, so it kind of worked in my favor.
Okay.
And he, my cleaning mentor, used to be his boss. So,
Oh, all right.
so he worked for the company that that my mentor is the head of, and like I said, he's been great, man. And I've been able to give him that time that he can have to go pick up his kids or whatever he needs to do during the day, because majority of our cleaning is in the evening anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
he gets to have that time back.
Yeah, we're looking for a new employee right now, kind of as a part-time position that we ultimately want to transition into a full-time.
Really.
But man, it's tough. It's hard to find not only somebody who's interested in working, but then like it's wild, man. Like I'm not joking. I've been doing this for over 10 years and
Word.
hiring people and all of that. It is astonishing to me the amount of people that will interview, go through the background checks, do everything, and then won't show up on their first day.
Man, that or don't even show up to the interview.
Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me,
Yeah.
right? That's to be expected, I feel like.
You
But
think so?
it's wild, man. Everybody's always talking about how there's no work and there's nothing to do and there's this and there's that. People just don't want to do anything, man. They really don't.
I agree.
But not to get down on, everybody work-wise. But yeah, we've been looking for people. So that's why, selfishly, I was asking, what was successful for you. But I like that you've got a cleaning mentor. How did you find a cleaning mentor?
We were both going to bid at the same place.
Okay.
So I was leaving one of my contracts at the time,
Mhm.
and we were both bidding on Clean ISD. They basically wanted some extra help with cleaning the schools, and I met him there, and we got outside, and he was like, I don't know why, but guys telling me to talk to you, like literally, and I was like, what? Like I literally was looking at him like awkward,
Right.
like bro, like bro, I didn't say nothing to you. Have a good evening, But he was really really nice, and I could tell like he knew his stuff, and really really stern. Like when I say he was stern, like you could just tell in the meeting he was stern, and he was
Interesting.
like, listen, I'm gonna take you underneath my wing, and he told me straight, he's like, selfishly, I'm gonna make money off you, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you everything you need to know,
Mhm.
and he kind of gave me some great pointers, and I've been rocking with him ever since.
That's awesome. And so that's been how long now? You said about 5-6 years?
No, about like 5-6 months, bro.
Oh,
like, honestly,
okay.
this is like recently. My
Nice.
mentor, Travio, is actually like my actual mentor
I see.
from out of high school. But this guy, Jeff Kent, man, shout out to them, and shout out to Service Master as well. Like he gave me a couple of gigs.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of like messed up the bed, like starting off, like honestly, like getting some complaints. Like I got it in bad condition. We got a car dealership. I got it in bad condition, but I wasn't doing so well because I couldn't find the right people. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And we finally
I
found
do
the
know
right
what you
people.
mean.
Yeah, like excuse me, we really were tearing it up really bad.
Uh-huh.
And so he gave me a chance, and I've been able to capitalize, and I haven't disappointed him since. So
Nice. So
I think,
yeah, I mean, so when you mentioned living in Killeen and all of that, I mean, is there a specific area that you're trying to focus on or
man, bro, remember when you said, "Is there something that you won't do again?"
yeah.
So I actually traveled to where was it? Louisville, Texas, and I was doing like a brewery,
Okay.
and it didn't make no sense.
Yeah.
But I was like down and out, and I was like, yeah, I got to get this money, so I'm gonna
Mhm.
do whatever I got to do.
Mhm.
And once I realized, like, hey, I'm going to these network meetings, they're like, bro, you just came from Louisville. Why are you all the way back in Austin? And I literally was doing that, and they was like, that makes no sense. In my head, I'm a young guy. Forget what
Right.
you guys talking about. You guys a little bit older. I got this energy. I'm up and down this highway. I'm jamming my music. I'm having a
Right,
great
right.
time. I'm living life. And then I
Getting
kind
them
of got the
experience points.
right. I kind of got that strategic part, like the
Mhm.
more strategic side. Like, hey, you could really still make the same amount of money. You don't got to drive that far.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
okay, so distance wise, I mean, what would you say if you're up in Killeen, like how far are we talking?
probably San Marcos now.
That's about it. So
Yeah,
from Killeen
any
to San
to
Marcos.
Waco, all the way. I go to Waco and then I go to San Marcos as far.
Is there like a particular type of business that you feel is a good fit for you? Something maybe you
No,
like doing or
no, cleaning is cleaning,
okay.
honestly. So it's like you'll have some companies. I just want offices. I just want federal government contracts. Like you have those kind of cleaning companies that are stickler. Like I only want to do post construction, or I only want to
Okay.
strip and wax floors, or only do carpet cleaning. So there's variations of the cleaning. But for me personally, it really doesn't matter because I've done it all.
Okay.
I've gotten
Anything
to
you
see.
like doing the most?
Uh, Probably post construction.
Post construction?
Yeah, I like doing the post construction and doing the walk at the end. Like, it's hard, but then it
Define
gets.
post construction.
So let's just say you're having a new build,
Uh-huh.
and you are it's dust everywhere. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? They need me to come in. I clean up. I do the rough. I may do the mid. They have 3 phases of it. The rough, then the touch up, and then you might have the final clean.
Okay.
I rather prefer do the final, but I don't mind all 3 phases. So, like I said, when you define that, it's just basically a new build of a building. They're trying to get the process, getting it cleaned up, keeping that area cleaned as times go on, so they can knock off everything on the punch list and things
So
like
getting
that.
in front of builders would be a good one for you.
Yeah, I definitely like them, and also,
We got to get you at Montana.
man, let's do it.
You know
Let's
who I'm
work
talking
it.
about?
I don't.
Remember the interior designer that we were talking with?
Right next to me.
Yes.
Last week I just
So
got
she
her.
deals with builders all the time,
We got to do it.
right?
We got to do it, bro. Like I said, I've done it all from residential, post construction to office. I mean, I've done it all. I'm not like a big bragger, but
Yeah. No, it's all
you
good,
know,
man.
I'm just trying to learn more, and that's what I really want. I really want more knowledge. I think that's something that can't get taken from you, right? That knowledge
More knowledge about the cleaning or more knowledge about the business?
about the business, like being an entrepreneur. I think there's a lot that you could learn just by being an entrepreneur, being around other people. Like cleaning is cool. Having a cleaning company mentor is cool, but being a better business owner, how can I be a better boss? How can you know what I mean?
Yeah.
How can I be better in the business? How can I make working for me fun? Or us working together? Because sometimes it's not really they work for you. It's like we work together.
Yeah.
Because I still have my portion that I have to do, even though I'm the owner.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I do.
And so right now, that's what I'm looking for. I'm just looking really for the knowledge. Like, hey, the money will come. I think once you start putting the money to the back burner and like not forcing it, that's when it starts to come easier.
Sure. What's the next thing? Like big, step in the business? Is it hiring an assistant? Is it, getting someone to do like the sales side of thing, or are you better at the sales side and maybe getting more employees to do the cleaning side or
Word. Yeah, but right now we're actually bidding on the city of Keller, so that's kind of like we can close that deal. That's life changing.
what is it?
We're bidding on the city of Keller, so like
Ah.
those kind of bids are for the complete city. So you do the libraries, you do the city parks, the bathrooms of the city parks, the police station, city hall, animal shelter.
Wow.
So those are bigger contracts, kind of like state funded, federal government kind of ordeal. So you get those kind of contracts. It changes basically the dynamic of your company.
Sure, I
You
bet.
definitely, yeah, it changes the dynamic. You definitely got to hire. And
What's the key to getting those jobs?
I don't know, because this is my first one, and I'm actually bidding on. Second walkthrough I've been on, but this is my first one I'm actually bidding. I would just say the knowledge, the experience. Some people are definitely, it depends on like if you're a woman business owned, minority owned, things like that. Like they get
Okay.
first look veteran owned. But honestly, you just got to have these key points. So like you go through like across the panel.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a 5-person panel for this one that I know of. And they all look at it and they all grade it.
How long are the contracts for?
Up to 5 years.
Okay.
So up to 5 years, determining like how you do within the first dose.
Yeah.
First year, all right, this looks good. Are we going to continue? However the case. So, and 9 times out of 10, those companies that get those kind of gigs, they don't.
Yeah,
mess
if they're
up. They
happy,
do.
it's like, so
Yeah,
why
they're
is it
gonna
up
keep
for
going.
grabs?
That 5 years is up, so they got to go with somebody else.
Oh, it's like a mandatory thing.
Ordeal, yes, sir. So like every 5 years,
Interesting.
after the 5 years is completed, they go to the next. So
We got to
now,
find out who's on the board.
man,
Put in a good word.
Yeah, I would love to find that out. If we
Right?
can find out who's on the board, man, we just make some stuff shake. For sure.
I
No,
like it. I like it. So we talked about the ideal client. We talked about what next steps are.
or-
What's the, I guess at the end of the day, like, is cleaning going to be the thing, or are there other aspirations?
that's a good question.
Right?
That threw me off. As of right now, cleaning is my career.
Yeah. Hey,
I don't
nothing
see,
wrong with that.
I think
I don't plan on doing anything different. So,
I've been teetering back and forth about going back to school. Like, do I want to get into the medical field, right? Because society's changing.
Mhm.
And, they have AI and things like that. And they're trying to, kind of like replace us. And in cleaning, I don't know if a robot's going to be able to clean.
Probably not.
Or a robot stripping and waxing the floor.
I mean,
So-
not anytime soon. That's for sure.
Right. So I don't know. Like as of right now, I'm happy in what I'm doing. I am looking to, get into a little bit of real estate later on. So maybe I can chop it up with you about
Yeah.
some of those other people. But I just right now cleaning is what it is, and
Sure.
I have a music career. So that's it.
Well, and more than cleaning, I mean, you're running a business, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff is interchangeable no matter what business you're doing. So, the hiring, I mean, like I said, I've been doing this for over 10 years and I still have a problem with hiring. It's tough, man. It's difficult trying to find good people. And then if you find the good people, then they want to run the business.
Man, they want to run a business and they want to make more money than you.
That's right.
And you're like, dude,
Yeah,
I got to make a living too, right?
correct. That's what we said in the beginning of the podcast. Profit's not a dirty word.
Right. I gotta make a living.
Gotta eat.
I want you to have fun. I want you to enjoy this, but I think the difference between me and my guys are like I want to enjoy it with you. Like I do kind of like a monthly meeting with my people.
Okay.
And when we sit down and we just talk, like, hey, are you happy? What's going on at home?
Mm-hmm.
Because that could definitely affect how
For
they're
sure.
performing. And everything of what we do in our field is performance based.
Do you ever get new business from your employees? Do they ever find jobs or anything like that? Or are they basically just looking for work?
Kind of looking for work.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of looking for work there.
Who do you think's like the number one person outside of you generating a business? Who's your number one referral partner? Like if you had to stick to, say, a business that refers you business, what would it be?
That's a good question.
Like I can tell you for me, it's obviously a real estate
Estate
agent, right?
Right. Yeah.
So like what's the number one business type that seems to be the best referral partner for you?
Probably a carpet cleaning company.
Carpet cleaning?
Carpet cleaning, because they do both, like what we do, commercial and residential. And they're 9 times out of 10, they'll ask, like, hey, do you have a person that does janitorial work?
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that carpet cleaning company only has, they only have that ordeal in that category. So they may not do the janitorial work that I may do. So that would be a great business.
Do you guys do carpet cleaning though?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah, we do.
Only reason I ask, because then it's like, well, hell, y'all can be referring
each other.
carpet cleaning, and
Yeah.
they can be referring the janitorial work. But
Well, that helps you with the entrepreneur realm. Like I learned that from my cleaning company man. I was like, nah, I don't do carpet cleaning. I don't like carpet cleaning. He was like, well, if you want to make money, if you want
yeah,
to make money, you need to add.
so the carpet cleaning stuff that you're doing, are y'all renting the machines, or are you
I'm a renting
you're
baby right
renting
now.
you're renting right
Yeah,
now?
until we can get it, until we can get it right.
I got you. Yeah, that's a tough one. I always think, I do a lot of home improvement stuff for myself, and hell, over half the battle is having the tools.
Right, bro. Like I think that's anything in building a business, right? Like depending on what the business is having the tools, right?
Right.
So that's where I started. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have really I
Needed
didn't
the
have
van.
much. Yeah, I needed a van, didn't have the van. I
Right.
needed a truck. I got the truck,
Mm-hmm.
you know. I got the truck and then after that I kind of just went on from there. Like I started gathering things along the way, like meeting networking partners and hey, I need this done. I need this done. And then they're like, hey, do you want that shop back? Give me $50 for it. Okay.
There you go.
Hey, I'm not using this ladder no more. Like at a post construction job, that's how I got my first ladder. Like I still have that ladder to this day,
Nice.
and that was 6 years ago. So, just small things I was able to accumulate over time.
So if you land this city job,
Right.
are you like packed to the gills with business for a minute? Like,
Oh, for sure.
are you going to be in a situation where other people are calling you and you're going to be like, sorry, but we just can't right now?
I know because the way that I'm about to set this up, the systems that I'm going to put in place, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
That's all the way outside of color. I don't know if people know it's like outside of Fort Worth. So that
Okay.
is, from me, it's 2.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it's like, hey, you got to take a risk.
Mm-hmm.
And in business, you have to take a risk. So people out there, if you want to be in business, take a risk. It's you can't be afraid to fail.
Yeah. No, for
And-
sure.
Yeah, so like that's exactly where I'm at with it. Like, no, we won't be up to head, but I definitely will have to put those systems in place before I start saying, hey, I'm going to take on like 4 or 5 new contracts. Like, all right, let me get this put in place because this is super duper major.
Yeah.
Because I'll be supporting different lives depending on a lot more people than I normally would. It's not just me. And I'm going to have to be, hold myself accountable, but hold those guys accountable to make sure that the job is getting done correctly. Hire somebody to make sure that everything is in order, paper-wise, legit, legal-wise.
Sure.
And then, you just got to have that area manager like, hey, is everything good? Is everything in order? Just the small things like that has to be set in stone and in place.
Sure. So let's just say, God forbid you don't get the job, and then everything is running as it is right now. Do you have the ability to take on like a big bulk of work at the moment, or would you have to scale up for that?
Nah, I feel like with me having the backing of my mentor, I can take on anything.
Because like I think about, I had a point in my career one time where, things started getting real busy,
Right.
and it got to the point where you never want to, at least in my business, you never want to take on business that is going to be a bad experience for the client because you're understaffed.
For sure.
And then, of course, when you're scrambling to find staff, when the business is coming in, that can get real hectic.
Yep.
And it's one of the things that I experienced that I'm like very mindful of now because it was stressful because it's like you got all this business coming in and that's super exciting, but then you're not able to service it all, and then you're kind of chasing, the additional staff that you need, and so just not a good place. And I'm just curious, like, yeah, where
What,
you're at with that.
I've hit that. I hit that pinnacle before.
Okay.
That was 2 years ago, and like I said, I went through the staffing companies. I went through a hard time trying to find, great workers. I thought I had some, and I had to deal with, I don't want to work these hours. And I'm only supposed to be doing this. I really want to work for you and not the staffing company. And I don't know if I could show up today. I don't know if I'll be able to show up this next day.
So what's the secret, man? Because you're telling me everything that I experience with my employees, and it sounds like you got it figured out. Like, hook me up.
I don't have it figured out, brother. It's literally trial and error for me.
Yeah.
Like I now do a 3-step interview process.
Okay.
So you have 3 interviews. And then the last one, you have to go on a clean with me, and I have to see how you clean because I'm going to correct you, right?
Sure.
But I've built these relationships with the people that I have contracts with that kind of understand. And like I said, I'm always there every step of the way. So I just kind of give them the heads up, hey, I'm bringing in my new hire today, and, we might be here a little bit longer than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like how I kind of determine and dictate. And then I just ask kind of, probing questions to see what it is that, where's their mind at? Like, where's your head? Do
Yeah.
you want to do this? Because I keep it straight real with them. Hey, do you want to clean toilets or not? Because this is kind
This
of
is
like
what
the
it is.
industry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're going to see some stuff that you don't want to see.
Okay.
You're going to see some stuff that you don't want to see. You're going to experience some things that are going to, it may make you vomit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
you just got to understand, hey, is this what you want to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm warning you right now. Like, I don't take them on those scary trips to where they see something that they don't want to see, but I have to bring those expectations. So no, I don't have it all together, brother. It's day by day.
What's the now that we're on to scary stories, what's the scariest story you got?
Oh man. Dang. Maybe I don't know if it was the roaches in the house.
Okay.
I did that. I had a guy call. He was like, "Listen, I really need this house clean. I'm in the hospital. My dad's there," and he was like, "No, I'm kind of skeptical because they're like scam calls." But I was like, "Hey, I got to do a walkthrough. Like I learned that early. Do the
Okay.
walkthrough of the place, and I opened the door, and a roach just fell from the top of the door, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And after we leave, before I leave, I'm gonna show you the picture. But they were like literally, if you look at the walls in here, like there were cockroaches all on the walls, ants, bugs, and there were some feces in the house. So
And was this house like vacant or
he wasn't there at the time because, like I said, he was in the hospital. So,
okay?
and honestly, this actually happened earlier this year. I took on the job like last minute. Was like, I'm gonna just do it as some extra funds. Who cares, right? And I wanted them not finishing the job. Like we got the job complete. I just hired somebody to do it because I just couldn't do it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
so
bad,
that
huh?
yeah, like it was. I'm picking up trash. Like there were tons of trash bags, and it was like the roaches was falling out of the trash bags, bro. It was really bad. Like I put on a hazmat suit.
Do you see a lot of that?
It's very rare.
Okay.
It's very very rare. Like you'll have those people who,
I always wonder how people get like that.
and this guy, well, you know, I mean,
Like
this
I
guy
always
here,
wonder, like, is it like drugs and alcohol? Is it like mental
man,
issues?
I think
Like
it's all of
all
it.
of the
Like
above?
it just depends on what your situation is at the
Mm-hmm.
time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like what are you going through at that time?
Yeah.
You know, somebody could have been going through a death. I know I gained weight after my father died,
Mm-hmm.
so I know it was a process for me.
Okay.
You know, but I didn't let that happen. But I kind of let go of myself a little bit, and
Yeah.
I'm not scared to say that. I think sometimes I think death, but it just depends. You could have had like let's just say a great paying job, and you lost that job, and your life turns upside down. Wife leaves you. You know, we're speaking from a men's
Sure. Sure.
term, but your wife leaves you. You never know. Or hey, do I have a major injury to where I really can't take care of myself and I don't have nobody?
Yeah.
Drugs do play a role, but you'll be surprised. If you ever if you're in Austin and you go down there and you have a conversation with somebody who's, that's homeless and they'll tell you their story and you're like, oh, he's really, really intelligent. Like they're really, really smart.
Yeah.
And they'll just say, hey man, it was unfortunate. Like, hey, I lost everything that I had.
Wow.
I had one guy, he had a bad investment deal.
Mm-hmm.
He had a bad investment deal and, he lost all his money. His wife left him and things like that.
But you got to take risks,
If you don't,
right?
you don't. You gotta be willing to fail. You know what I mean? But I think the part where people fail at is they don't know how to get back up or they forget to get back up.
Yeah.
You got to get back up.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you next. Was that when I met you last week, you were talking about how you played football,
Word.
and that was a big part of your life.
Yeah.
So I always like asking athletes. I mean, do you feel like doing that and being a part of that kind of helped you in business?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The structure. I don't think a lot of people understand the life of a college athlete. Like you wake up almost 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Your day does not end. Like every part of the day is accounted for.
Mm-hmm.
So think about an entrepreneur. Like if you're really on your entrepreneur realm, every
Yeah.
part of your day is technically accounted for. If you have an assistant, hey, don't forget your 11 o'clock. Then you have this at 12:30. Then you have this at 2.
Mm-hmm.
So in football, like, yeah, every part of your day when you wake up, all right, position coach. All right, we got to go lift. All right, we got breakfast. Then we got class. Then we come back. We're back with our position coach. We might have film. Then we go outside. You know what I'm saying? We get on
Yeah.
our pad. So, all right, now we got study hall. After study hall, we're going to dinner. After dinner, we got study hall again if you're failing. And then
Yep.
it's lights out. So, for me as in business, like I have to have that structure. That's what I've been creating for myself these last few months. And then once you get out of that structure of that realm, it's kind of hard for athletes because every day has been accounted for us.
Oh, okay. You're saying it's hard to
Yeah, it's
stay
hard
on
to
it because
adjust.
you need someone else to kind of
To
keep.
kind of keep that adjustment like that.
Okay.
If that's what your life has been, that's what you're kind of accustomed to. So for me, it was easier entrepreneurship now because I learned, okay, I got to put this structure back in place.
I always like hiring athletes because of everything that you just made mention of. Because what I've identified is that, people that aren't athletes, not all of them, but you talk about the fact that you had structure, you did all the things, and then, yeah, sometimes it can be difficult because then you got to get out there and do it on your own because you don't have anybody else kind of structuring things for you.
Right.
I find there's a lot of people out there that didn't go through kind of any sort of structure at all.
Right.
And so not only do they have trouble, maintaining any sense of structure, they never had it to begin with.
True.
So then the thing I love about working with athletes, I got somebody that I'm literally thinking of right now who has come to me a couple times and been like, I really, really love working with you. And he played college football.
That's dope.
He was a Sooner.
Oh my God.
And
yeah, it's Suckham Hornets over here.
right. But the point I'm trying to make is like, we implement things and structure, and he loves it. Where if I try to implement structure with people who didn't go through like sports or anything like that, 8 out of 10 times they're like, nah, I'm not trying to be micromanaged. It's like, okay, well then prove to me that you can do your thing like, you're
Outside of that.
self-motivated. It's like, well, I'm busy. Like, it's
I
interesting.
got you. Let me ask you a question. Are you self-motivated? Like, does that...
Me?
Yeah, like, do you feel like you're self-motivated, or do you feel like, okay, maybe I might need a podcast in the morning, or I might need like a motivational quote? What helps you get going, and how does that push you to be better for what you have going on?
I mean, for me personally, one thing I identified really, really early on was the importance of staying in a routine.
Right.
So for me, it really started with just, I can kind of remember in my younger years. So I've been doing this. I've been in this industry technically since, when I was 15 years old.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah,
for sure, bro.
But I didn't really, it was a part-time job, and I was telemarketing and everything along those lines. And I did enjoy it, but it wasn't something that I was like trying to make a career out of. I really didn't start focusing on, this until about 2006. So I was probably like 21, 22.
Okay.
And in the beginning, it was just all about making money, right?
Really?
Like I just kind of like what you were saying, like, I had a ton of energy and I was, willing to do whatever it took to make a bunch of money. But unfortunately, that does start to wear off. At least for me, it did.
Yeah.
And the only way that I was able to maintain, like I don't even know if it'd be a drive. It was just like a structure was really implementing like certain non-negotiable things that I needed to do, times that I needed to be up to make this happen, to make that happen. And that's really what worked for me. And then just kind of measuring everything, knowing that like, okay, if this is what I want, what's it going to take for me to get to this? And then if I got to do this, then what's it, and working things that way. And then once I feel like you can kind of have an outcome, because as an entrepreneur, there's no guarantees, right?
Correct.
You don't like go to work and work an 8-hour day and know how much you're going to get paid at the end of the week.
Yeah.
But you can kind of start tracking what I call like metrics as far as like activities. Like if I do, for example, you could say to yourself, if I talk to 10 potential business owners for cleaning, you start doing that and tracking that over a period of time.
For sure.
You're going to know what your closing ratio is as far as contracts are concerned. So you could say, hey, if I talk to 10 business owners, I'm gonna sign 4 of them.
Right.
And if I sign 4 of these business owners, I know that my average, job is going to make me X amount of dollars.
For sure.
And then this by 4, this is how much I'm going to make. And if I like that number, I'm like, okay, let's stick with that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I like
or
that, yeah.
Or if it's like, man, I can't live off of that.
That's a great question. And you also went to college, right? So, and then your dad kind of gave you the green light. He was like, hey,
Yeah.
go make that money.
Well, I ended up dropping out of college.
Yeah, but
But I went.
And but you got that structure too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I was better at being an entrepreneur than I was as a student. I'll tell you that, because I liked it, and it made more sense to me. I feel like the more you have me kind of thinking out loud, for me, it's more about having a structure that is going to give me some sort of, not guarantee, but idea of, if I do these things,
right?
Here's my potential outcome. Where when I was going to school, it was about grades and stuff like that. But once you graduate, like, there's no guarantee that you're going to get some sort of job or whatever, so like, you're really going into that blindly. And because of that, I never really enjoyed school as much as I enjoyed like working. I felt like there was just more of an intentional goal with work than there was with school.
I like that. And so, what would you say if you had to talk to a young entrepreneur like myself? What is something a piece of advice that you could give to me?
I mean, I give a lot of advice, but based on specific. but I think that we're hitting on it right now. It's something that I am big on is routine, right?
Right.
Like, you got to be waking up at the same time every single day. I don't know what time that is that works for you, but like, figure it out. And if you find yourself, staying up late, even if it's because of a job or something like that, like, that's no excuse, right? You have to manage your schedule correctly. It's like, oh, but I was on a job, cleaning this place until 1 o'clock in the morning. So today I'm going to sleep in until like 11. Like, that roller coaster, it's gonna affect you.
Bro, you hit that nail right on the coffin. Like, you hit it, because honestly, that's what I've been working on the last 3 months, consistency. And I think that word is underused.
Yeah.
Like, because consistency is everything, right? Mm-hmm. So I actually wake up around 7:30 to 7:45. So without the alarm now.
There you go.
So so my normal routine is I probably wake up, depending on what's on the schedule, I normally go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I go to the gym, sit in the sauna, like, that's biggest routine, sit in the sauna, whatever I have to do. And then we'll come out, do my cardio. After our cardio, I'll get straight into lifting.
Yep.
And then after that, right after that, I get on my knees, and some people aren't spiritual. I am. Once I get home, I'll get my pillow, get on my knees, hand and knees, and I just tell God, thank you, for letting me, walk, talk, see, hear, whatever.
Sure.
And
gratitude.
Right. And then I might listen to a little motivational deal, and then we get that day going.
There it is.
Yeah. So I normally don't like to do too much in the morning, but
what time do you stop working?
I don't think work ever stops. I don't think
it has to.
Like,
man. I used to be like that.
I don't think right now for me, work doesn't really actually stop. Like I have to finish the bid for Keller, so these next 2 nights is crucial. So I don't think that it actually stops. It's when the job is done, and that's kind of like how cleaning has always been. You don't, for me, like, you have those certain jobs. They say, hey, we want a cleaner to come in here for 2 hours, but I never really took those kind of jobs. Everything has been, hey, I'm here until the job is done.
Yeah. Like, I'm not working past 9 o'clock. No chance. If I can't, don't get me wrong, like, the job ends and we get back at it the next day, but anything after 9 o'clock, like,
you're wrapping it up, turning the brain off.
It's, you start, there are just certain non-negotiables, right? Like, and you got to decide what those are.
I guess I need to add that to my repertoire, because I guess that's one of the things that I still have to learn how to calm down with, right? So a lot of things I started calming down with after I had my son, learning that patience. But everything since I've, like, literally had him, like, my energetic level has went back through the roof. Like, hey, he needs this, he needs that. I got to, get this health care. And, some things a lot of people may not know, and some do. Hey, entrepreneurs do not have that retirement plan right off the bat. Right. Just like you said, there's no guarantee. So I have to take care of my son a different way than, the average person may be able to do in the United States of America. So
you'll be all right, though. Yeah, but that's my advice. Get in that routine, have that start time, have that end time, and make sure that you're operating as efficiently as possible in between.
I like
Because
that.
like kind of to your point, I know a lot of guys that have a similar routine. In fact, mine is similar. But the thing that I sometimes see is like, and you don't have to answer this, but like you talked about your gym time, like what's your set gym time? You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
like I don't like my gym time is from 7 until 8. That's it. Like
yeah,
that's the time. And I see
yeah,
guys, oh, I went a little late in the gym because like you can
yeah,
have that structure, but then how
yeah.
much can you really break it down to like hour by
Right.
hour, right?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I spent a little extra time in the sauna. I wanted to get a stretch in, and I got a phone call, and you know, and now that like that broad stroke structure you just gave me when we really pick it apart is really not as structured
Structured
as
as
you
you think.
said.
Yeah.
So
So,
like, I get into the gym at 7 a.m. and I work out
mm,
from 7 until 8. I'm not answering any calls between those hours. No chance. I'm not checking my email. No chance, because if I do, then I have the possibility that I sit down and now I'm not either getting my good workout in or I'm extending my workout past 8 o'clock, which is gonna hurt me in terms of getting in, showering up and doing all the things. And like, or to your point, like, what, you gonna skip your prayer time? Right? Like, is that a
yeah.
non-negotiable?
Nah,
Right?
not at all.
So like mapping
Yeah.
out, when I say getting into a structure, I really do mean,
Breaking it
getting
down.
into a time structure. Like you saw, I
Right.
was like, I live by my Calendly, right? Like if it's
Yeah.
not on that calendar, like I'm not doing it.
I like
And if
that.
it is, then everything stops.
Right.
Like I'm not answering my phone right now. We're not looking at my emails or nothing like
Right.
that. Like
Right.
that's what's up. And that is what I would say as far as my like biggest advice, because I deal with real estate agents all the time. And the number one reason why real estate agents tell me they get into this position?
Why?
Well, the reason they tell me, and there's two. And the number one reason is because they say they want to help people, which I do believe, but I do not. I think it's funny when they mention that as the number one reason, because I don't believe them. Um, the number two reason that they say is because they wanted to have flexibility with their schedule.
Wow.
And the irony of it is that I think any job, whether it's cleaning, whether it's real estate, whether it's, even that 9 to 5 where you punch a clock,
Yeah.
if you take the structure out of it. So like let me flip the words. If real estate agents got into real estate and treated it like a structured paying job that they had to be at, I guarantee every single real estate agent with a license right now would double their income.
Mm,
But
I
the
agree.
but the reason that they got into it is because they wanted the flexibility. And once you add that flexibility to the real estate game, your earning potential is reduced, cut it in half. Cut it in half.
Mm.
And that's the one thing that always kills me, because I feel like real estate agents get into the business for the money, because you can make a lot of money doing it,
Oh, I'm aware.
right? But then when they say, "Oh, I really wanted to get into," because if a real estate agent was being honest, in my opinion, the number one reason that they get into it is the money. The number two reason that they got into it is because someone convinced them or somebody told them that there was flexibility associated with it. So when you think about it on the surface of the things, when you have somebody telling you that there's a job out there where you can make a lot of money and have flexibility, you're like, sign me
It's
up,
key. It's the idea. Part is like,
sign me up,
this all I gotta do?
right?
This what you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't gotta go 4 years? Oh, okay, cool.
Right. And that's why, like, real estate isn't even the 80-20 rule. It's like the 90-10 rule. Like
Yeah.
10% of real estate agents do 90% of the business. And those agents that are doing it, they're doing it.
Mm.
And I know a lot of them. And again, I'm just using real estate because these are the people that I interact with the most. But business owners in general, business owners that treat their business as if they are an hourly punch a
Employee.
clock employee, those are the ones that succeed the most.
I think I just learned something today. 'Cause, no, that was probably the best advice that I've heard in a while. And the reason I say that is because when you kind of got like deeper into debt with the structure, we was talking about the gym, right? And so it literally, my schedule varies every day, right? So now it's like, okay, cool. Now I kind of get, okay, I need to wake up at 7:30, not 7:30 or 7:45,
Right.
7:30. Okay, if I'm going to be at the gym from 8:30 to 10:30, because I do, my
Yeah, I
extra
get
bull
it.
job. You know what I mean?
Hey, just structure it.
Yeah, and that makes sense because sometimes, normally for me, it's about 2 hours,
Hmm.
depending on like what I'm doing for cardio and what all I have going on. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And if one of my partners come, it's going to take a little bit of time between the reps. But other than that, you made a lot of sense. And the last thing I like that you said as well was, I give you my undivided attention no matter what. If
Yeah.
it's on this calendar, hey, you have me for this set time, and this is what this time is for.
Oh, because what I see a lot of people do, and this is so I'll give you kind of my breakdown, right? So I wake up at 6.
Mm.
I wake up real slow, man. So I wake up at 6. I kind of move around. I feed the dog. I drink some water. I'm kind of stretching a little bit, but I'm in the gym by 7. I work out from
Okay.
7 until 8.
Cool.
And then I'd shower up, and at 8:30 I have a meeting that I'm a part of every single week. So 8 to 9 I'm on a meeting, and then my day in terms of work starts at 9 o'clock, and my work day in my mind goes from 9 and so it starts from 9 until 6, right? And between 9 and 6, no matter what happens, even if there's some downtime, I'm not going and getting my laundry. I'm not going and taking my dry cleaning. Like, it doesn't matter. If I'm chilling, I'm like, ooh, I got some extra time. I'm figuring out ways to either prospect and generate new business, follow up with past clients, or handle the current transactions that I'm working with. I will find something. Or even if I literally have nothing to do, I will be writing up some sort of business plan, some sort of networking event, something that is work related between 9 and 6 o'clock, no matter what. No questions asked. No, like, ooh, you know what? I need to get some new shoes. I got an hour to spare. I'm going to run up to DSW, grab a pair of shoes. Nope, not an option. Not an option. That does not happen between 9 and 6. And then after 6 o'clock, I got this thing I call the 15-minute rule. Everybody not everybody, but a lot of people that know me know about this. So once 6 o'clock hits, right, I will continue to work as late as 9 p.m. as long as there is something to do. And after 6 o'clock, if there is not, let's say 6 o'clock hits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, all right, I got a couple more things I'm going to get caught up. I'm going to roll out.
Right.
As soon as I'm caught up, I'll look at the clock. It's 6:30. That's past my 6 o'clock limit. I'm like, 15-minute rule. I immediately will like jump on social media or like listen to music, read an article.
Chill.
If 15 minutes goes by and nobody calls me and nobody emails me, nobody's needing something, a pre-approval, that's it, I'm done. 15-minute rule, day's over, past 6 o'clock. And every time I do this 15-minute rule, I swear to God, sometimes it'll keep me in the office until like 8 p.m. because something will come through. Something will come through. Something will come through.
What?
Yep. But at least I wait that 15 minutes, whether it's always an email, a phone call, because then that email will prompt me to have to do something.
Right. So you got to put in a little extra.
And that might just take me 10 minutes. But now the clock resets, right?
Ah.
Now the clock resets.
Okay, I get you.
Right?
That's something different.
But that's only between 6 and 9 because if I can go 15 minutes and the day is that slow, then the day's over and it has to wait till the next day. But there's no like 15-minute rule between 9 and 6 p.m. Like, I'll sit for a half hour if I have to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I like that.
so that's the way that I operate.
What brought that rule upon?
The 15-minute rule?
Yeah, who came up with that?
I came up with it because what I started to realize was that if I just got done, right? Like, let's say, like, it's 6 o'clock. I
Right.
get everything caught up. I'm like, I'm out, and I didn't wait those 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I would get in the car. I would drive home, and then all of a sudden there'd be like 2 or 3 things that I needed to do, and then I was taking work home, and I was like, my dog's running around being crazy. Like, I'm not able, and it would just stress me out, right?
You wasn't able to interact and relax.
Yeah, and I kind of felt like, okay, I need to give it time to, because like I said, I probably don't get out of here typically until like 7. And I would love to get out of here every day at 6. But the reason that it goes down like that is because I give that time to wait. And if it's a slow enough day, don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm able to bounce, and that feels great, and I love it, and I take advantage of it. I kind of like leave it up to fate,
I got you. So what's a typical day like? Let's say you have NIA.
Mhm.
All right. So let's say that meeting goes to about, 4:30?
Yep.
So what is a typical day like when you have like a network meeting?
So
Incorporate?
with NIA, I mean, most people who know me know that I'm kind of a terrible NIA member. and because I will go there and I will be a part of my meeting, and then I will schedule my one-to-ones, and 8 out of 10. And so right after that meeting, I have another NIA meeting. So I finish up at 4:30, and then I have another one from 4:30 until 6. And then that 6 starts my 15-minute rule. So
Okay.
if at 6 o'clock after that meeting, if I've got stuff going on, I head straight out and I head to the office and I handle my business. If not, I'll hang back for a little bit, maybe, bust open my laptop and do a few things from the NIA meeting. But on other days, for example, if I don't have another meeting because I do go to other events,
Right.
even before I had this other meeting after NIA, I was usually the guy that was like racing out the door to head back to the office.
Wow.
Like I was not hanging out. I would schedule my one-to-ones. I would do my meeting, and then I'd be like, all right, I'm out.
You're a bad boy.
And I would head straight back to the office. I get back at 5. That would give me an hour to get caught up, and then it goes to 6, and then my 15-minute rule starts.
I like that. 10 years in the game.
I've been doing it a lot longer than 10,
Yeah,
for sure.
but yeah. Well, since now, like, what would you say has changed since you started to where you are now? Like, what changed about the game, or what changed about the industry that you're in? Like, what do you see that's different now from when you first started?
Well, when I first started, this job was, I felt like it was looked at a little more, like, with respect or prestigiously.
Yeah.
Where now, as a loan officer, sometimes I feel like the general public just thinks of me as a step above a used car salesman, on the
Ooh.
surface, right? That's the first piece that has definitely changed. The second piece that's definitely changed, and I'm not mad at it. I know a lot of older loan officers that feel kind of frustrated about with what I'm going to say, but with the addition of all the technology that's come out over the last like 10 or 15 years, it's given us an opportunity to close way more transactions than we normally could.
Wow.
So like when I got into this, like if you were closing like 3 or 4 transactions a month, I mean, you were a gangster, right?
Right.
Where now, if you're not closing like 3 or 4 transactions a month, it's like, what are you doing, right? And the money is the same, right? So like the margins or the profitability, what we used to make in comparison to what we make now, based on a per job basis,
For sure.
is a lot lower. And
Mm.
but with technology, we have the ability to close more transactions, so it evens itself out. But if you got a guy who's like, yeah, I want to close 4 deals a month, and all of a sudden you're like, well, if you want to make that money like you used to 10 years ago, now you got to close like 6 or 8. That's frustrating for some people. But the amount of time that it takes to close those transactions is the same, right?
Mm.
Like I would envision any business sees this, right? Like even like cleaning companies, I'm sure you can look at products that have made your life a lot easier, that allows you to clean something a lot quicker.
For sure.
And as that tool becomes readily available to more businesses, they're going to come in and be able to undercut, because now it doesn't take as long to get the job done.
Of course.
And you're mad because you're like, how are these people going to, charge X amount of dollars? It's like, well, because they got the badass carpet cleaner and not the one that you need to change the bucket like every, you know what I'm saying?
You got to change that water. I know, for sure.
Right.
Like, yeah.
So that's the big thing that I would say has changed a lot. The perception from, the general consumer, and, just the fact that we do have to close more transactions. Those would be the 2 major pieces for sure.
Man, I done got some good knowledge today. I appreciate you. Thank you. I needed that. I like, sometimes us as younger guys, we look up to the older guys, and sometimes y'all may not see that. Y'all may,
Right.
oh, these guys are facetious. They just want to play all day long.
Nah, man.
We don't want to work. Not saying you, but,
Right.
you have some of those that
Sure.
think that all we are is like play. We don't take things serious, or
Right.
we don't want to put in, like those older guys. You didn't go out and you didn't use stuff. You didn't do that construction like I did. And
Well, your generation's all about trying to figure out the hack. For real.
that's true. Yeah.
real.
What's the fastest way to get it done?
Yeah.
What's the easiest way to get to it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like it and I hate it at the same time, because I was once that way. Like, what is the I still fall victim of it today. But it's also
Well, I mean, when you go online, I mean, you got all of these guys out there, men and women, that are acting like, they figured something out. You just got to buy their course and, you
oh
know,
yes, those are horrible. It irritates me. Like, and they put those ads up there, and it's just like, you want to make 10,000
right.
in a month? Just sign up for this course.
I love all the ones there's a bunch of guys I follow that are like comedians that make jokes, and you're like, what you need to do is you need to cancel your Netflix account. And with the money that you save, you open an LLC.
Yeah.
And then you take that LLC and you buy 3 homes and you put those homes in your LLC. But when you buy the homes, don't worry, you don't need the money because the bank will, and it's all
Right.
bullshit, right? And they're like making jokes. But like that's a lot of like, I mean, you have no idea how many phone calls I get from young kids that are like, yo, I want to buy an investment property. I'm like, okay. Like, and they're like, I live with my mom right now. And I'm like, well, why don't we work on getting your own house? And like, it's just, yeah.
Like, I think, those kill me, especially like when they be like, hey, this is just a funnel.
Right, right.
Those funnels and everything like that. And my stupid tail, I fell for the shit before. Like, I'm not gonna lie. But like, I fell for it and I was like, damn, this shit was a waste of money. And I was
Yeah.
pissed off. Like,
And meanwhile,
was
I'm over
hot.
here telling people just get in a routine, They're like, I don't want to hear that. Give me the hack.
But you know what? The old school way, I think the old school way still works today. A lot of the stuff that we had, we grew up on structure, and a lot of people don't even remember. Like, hey, remember when you got to high school and you had middle school, and you started changing classes, and you had a bell schedule?
Right.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Then you get to high school, it's the same thing, and then semi kind of like that in college, but you just have a little more leeway, and this class is from this time, hey, and then I got this class, then I got lunch. So structure is everywhere around us. It's sometimes we just want to defy the odds.
Right.
We don't want to do that shit. You don't.
I get it. Well, the
You
best
don't.
part is it's like, when people say I want the freedom, it's like, well, you have the freedom to make your own schedule, but you have to have a schedule.
If you're all over the place, you're not gonna make no money.
No.
You don't have any structure. You have no values, no core values.
Right.
Those things set you like. I didn't make money for a while because I didn't have my stuff together.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing. I was all over the place.
Well, and sometimes you just got to stop and then, again, just like work it through like a math problem. That's the
Yeah.
other piece. I feel like a lot of business owners don't want to stop and kind of, you know how many people I know that will, like, is it being in finance that will admit like they're afraid to look at their bank account.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I used to be like that too.
Well, take that a step further. If you're afraid to look at your business, right, and look at like the the expenses, the systems that you have in place, the scheduling that you've got. There's a ton of business owners that are just doing it. They're just doing it.
I think Matt Kersland needs to be a mentor, guys. Which
Buy
I
my
think,
course.
yes, buy the course, like for sure. Like, hey,
No.
$5.99,
Right?
No, I think you should be a mentor, man. You got the
Maybe.
tools. No, really, you got the tools. Honestly, because you don't know with this podcast here today. Like,
Yeah.
you probably didn't know.
Well, we have a lot of people on have conversations like this, and the footage that I'll come out with this, it'll be good, man. You'll see.
Oh yeah, I love it.
You got anything else you want to tell the people?
Man, I thank you for allowing me to be here.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, I tell people that coming on this podcast is like working out, right? Like you can't just come on one time and expect results. Because like I'll edit this out. We'll probably have this out. It's Tuesday. Probably have it out by the end of the week,
All right, cool.
and then I'll start tagging you on clips and everything along those lines. And
For sure.
people can view this. But you should probably schedule another one for 4 to 6 weeks from now.
Well, we're working on, getting my own little podcast
Okay.
ordeal right now. So
Well, invite me
you
on.
gotta come on. Oh shit.
Let's go.
You might be the first.
I would love that. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. Yeah. We definitely, it's a little bit more laid back. So if you want to get you a drink, you can definitely get you a drink.
I'm in.
It's after 6 o'clock.
That's Market on the Rocks. We have
Yeah.
That's another podcast we do. There's a couple of them that are on here.
I love it.
We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 different podcasts that run out of here.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I guess the last thing I just want to say thank you to my family. Shout out to my son.
Love that.
My girl.
What's his name?
His name is Christopher Wayne Evans
There you
Jr.
go.
He is a junior, man.
There it is.
So he is.
Keeping the
Right
dream
after me.
alive.
Yeah, man. I'm one of the last Evans in the family, so I had to give the name to him.
There it is. I love
You got to
it.
keep it right. So that's it, man. Everything else is good. I appreciate it. And Of course. Shout out All American Janitorial.
There it is. Where can we find you?
Man, Instagram, Google. You definitely can find us on Google. I'm working on my LinkedIn. I just heard about it. I ain't real tech savvy, but working on LinkedIn and Facebook as well.
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming on. It's been
I
a pleasure.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right.